Hi, everybody. I'm John Habermeyer with Synergy Builders, and this is Synergy Design Live, where I design your space live right here on Facebook. I'm with my co host, Sarah.
Hey everyone, this is Sarah Schmecko with Synergy. I've been really excited thinking about what we can do with the home that we last saw on last week's episode, just because there's so much potential to solve some of the issues that the family is facing. But first, we have a important message from a very important member of our team. Meet Odin for Odin's Fun Facts. Odin says, did you know in Switzerland it is illegal to own just one guinea pig? This is because guinea pigs are social animals and they are considered victims of abuse if they are alone. Thanks,
Ruh-roh.
Odin.
Ruh-roh. Well, so I
Thanks,
actually kind
Odin.
of, yeah, I know that wasn't really Odin. True confessions, that was actually me. But he's taking a nap right now, as you can see, enjoying the sun through the window at my home office. So thanks for the intro, Sarah. And we're going to pick up where we left off last week. This is the residence in Bartlett. And, they had a couple of things they wanted to solve with. They have a whole bunch of things that they want to do in the house. But this week specifically, we're going to be looking at the master bathroom. And I want to start by talking about limitations. So, this is a pretty typical house that we work on all the time and we design with. And this particular house was built in the 90s and it was a really typical track house. And what that means, for the most part, is that most houses that were built in that time frame as a track house they use what's called truss roof construction. And what that basically means is when it's a truss roof construction, we're less limited with the walls that we have to use. So I can remove walls fairly easily. And whenever I'm designing a space, I like to start with the least amount of restrictions possible. So I start just by pulling some things out of the way.
And John, if I remember, this client had an issue with the tub being too big, the shower was too small,
Yep,
and the closet was not connected to the bathroom. And so they were kind of hoping to have that connected somehow.
exactly. And you know what else is on their list too? I was reading through the notes and they actually, so their laundry room is in their basement right now, and they were hoping to have an option to bring a laundry up to that bedroom level. And that's always super hard to do. But there are some options available.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what we can do with it.
Yeah. So here's what I do. I just kind of create a little bit of a blank canvas for myself, right? Because there are some things that are pretty easy to move and some things that are hard to move. The tub was here, the shower's here, the lavs are right here, and the toilet's here. It's hard to move a toilet sometimes, and in this particular case, we kind of use some. I use when we drew this house last week, we overlaid the house, and you can kind of see this mask that I just put on. I'm going to toggle it back and forth so you can see that. Kind of shows the layout for downstairs. And the toilet being right here, that is a 4-inch drain line, and that's one of the harder things to move in a bathroom. Sometimes impossible to move a toilet depending on the situation. In this particular situation, it is almost impossible to move the toilet. So I'm not going to move that right now. Everything else is pretty easy to move. So I pull this open and I start creating some definition of the space. So we know that we need a closet and we know that we need a pretty big open area to work with. So just by doing this real quick, this really, really quick layover, um, you can see that we've created more of a rectangular space as opposed to a space that's kind of jogged in a little bit. And we have when we're talking about designing a closet space, we have a couple of kind of really important golden rules that we're going to follow. And 7 feet is ideal for a closet. And the reason why is because if we have a 2 foot aisle on both sides of the space, we have a 2 foot row of clothing. That leaves us with a 3 foot aisle in the middle. And just from a real basic level, and this particular setup, we're able to achieve that. And by the way, if I'm not looking at our home audience right now, it's because I'm looking at the screen over here. Sometimes I feel a little guilty about not making eye contact with everybody, but it is what it is, right? So Control C, Control V. We're going to move this over to here. Now take a peek at this here. Now we're getting somewhere, and we have 3 feet basically between these rows of clothing, which allows us kind of a perfect setup on that. And we want to put a door in here. And let's just play around. So whenever I'm designing, I'm actually, Sarah, just to kind of let you know, I'm always playing with options. So I might put something somewhere and it might not work right away. And I may put it over here and it may not work right away. So I'll go through and I'll delete and kind of play around with as many ideas as I can when I'm working through this.
And so those yellow lines are your walls, and those can be differentiated from the orange lines that
Oh,
are
sure.
the current structure. Is that
Yeah, yeah,
what we're
exactly. So
seeing?
yeah, these dashed lines, thanks for asking that because these dashed lines are where the walls currently are today. That's exactly
Uh,
right, Sarah.
okay.
So as you can, yeah, good point here actually, because when I look at this right here, that previous closet width was a little bit over 5 feet. Oh, and by the way, there's a million different ways to measure and display dimensions. I have, from my background, I use decimal parts of a foot, but a lot of people prefer to see things in feet and inches or feet. So if for some people this is easier on your eyes to go feet and inches. See how easy that is to change in there, Sarah?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, everybody, whenever anybody's looking at dimensions, it can appear in different ways. But I think I'm going to just put an entrance to the closet right here. It seems to make sense right now. And I'm going to
That
actually,
way, right, that way they can use their now, from what I'm seeing now, they would have access to their bathroom or to their closet through their bathroom, correct?
yeah,
From their bedroom area?
exactly. Yep. So
Okay.
that's pretty important to for a lot of people, that's really important that they don't have to go back into a common area. And even though a bedroom's private, to a lot of people, it's still considered a common area. So if you're in here and you're preparing and you want to just go in the closet and get your clothes and put them on in the closet, that might be, something that a lot of people want and need and like. Um, Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about because a lot of people are probably cringing at home right now, and I put a pocket door in here, and there's such a kind of a mixed opinion about pocket doors versus swing doors. And generally speaking, pocket doors are clumsy. They're a lot of people don't like them because sometimes they rub, they're clumsy, they're awkward, you can't lock them. But the general rule of thumb is if it's a door that remains open the majority of the time, then a pocket door is a really good solution.
Because it's convenient, right? It can be kind of mesh with the wall and you don't have that swinging, taking up space and
Exactly. So if we look at the comparison between these two, if this is a door that opens and closes all the time, then you're going to want a swing door. But in this case right here, if we want this door to remain open most of the time, and in this case right here, it's in a bathroom, you want to just conveniently walk in and out of here, but you don't necessarily want a door swing because you'd have to swing it into this or into this, and it would be a little bit difficult.
yeah.
And really, so if we're here's the question, right? This is obvious to me that this would be a pocket door. This one, on the other hand, could be either one. And in our previous version right here, this toilet was exposed to the rest of the bathroom. So in this case right here, we would want this to be a swing door because if you're using the toilet, and again, whenever I'm talking about design, I'm talking about for most people. Everybody has different toilet habits and levels of privacy that they want and use. I personally am a very private toilet user. Some people and some couples, I know it's awkward. Hey, I don't mean to be awkward, but believe me, as a, when we're designing spaces, we talk about toilet. Uh, you
And
know,
it's important to be
yeah.
pretty open and honest about how you're using it because you
So
want it to be as usable as possible.
yeah, what's funny, Sarah, is a couple years
Yeah.
ago there was this commercial and it was like talk to your doctor about your poop, and I don't know if you're old enough to remember that. Sarah's a bit younger than me, so she may not remember that commercial that was
I
going
don't
on.
think I'm familiar with this one.
No, it was a pretty popular movement to talk about poop with your doctor,
Okay.
and so I used to tell clients that too when I was working with them when that was a popular commercial, because you know, I mean, we need to know how to design your space for you, but the majority of people actually prefer privacy in their toilet area, and I do. I fall into
Sure.
that category. Um, so in this case here, I think because we have this ability to put a door here, um, I would probably make this a pocket door.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, because in this case right here, this will be your private area. So we're
Yeah.
enclosing the toilet, making this the private area, and making this part kind of a common area.
It probably helps to make the space feel a lot more open and together
Yeah,
too, if you're, commonly leaving those doors open.
for sure. Yep. Um, and it also allows us a little bit more liberty to place things. Now we're left with a pretty big space to work with, right? We have our closet really well defined. Great space. This is functioning and flowing really well. Toilets enclosed, so we solved two of the main problems here.
And to me, it looks like we borrowed a little bit of space from the bedroom to have a little bit more space to work with.
Good point,
Fr-
actually. Good point. This is a pretty big bedroom here,
yeah.
and a lot of times houses that were designed in this time period, they kind of awkwardly made these bedrooms a little bit bigger than they need to be and sacrificed space in the closet. And the reality of most people, if you were to, like in modern design, the way, when we're designing houses nowadays, we definitely have a better balance between bedroom size, bathroom size, and closet size. And closets and bathrooms, master suites, as we call them now, not just a room, is that it's a combined use space. And very important to understand that it's a combined use space. But now we have this great little space to work with, and it becomes a little bit more obvious on where we can put things. Uh, and we're going to be able to. They don't need or want the tub anymore, um, because this is a family. We're going to keep the tub in the hall bathroom right here, and it's not mandatory to have a tub in the master bathroom anymore, and it used to be, but it's not the case anymore. Uh, this particular client here is going to do a hot tub in the back, so that's where they would go and chill out, and they would bathe their kids in this tub in the hall bath.
And that seems to be a common thing that people are leaning towards is a bigger shower for their personal use, rather than that big tub that we commonly see in the homes that are built, 20, 10 to 20 years or more
It,
ago.
exactly. Yep. And with that being said, this is a good location for the shower, and we have some ability to now use this area for the sink. And remember what this was looking like before? It was a really difficult L-shaped setup where it turned around the corner this way.
Yes, yeah. And so before we had where the shower is right now, that's where the tub was.
Yeah,
And
so
where the
yeah,
sink is, that's where the
exactly.
shower used to be.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna pop open the previous version of that. So I'm gonna switch over to Odin Cam for a sec. And oh, look at my boy. Look at my boy. For those of
Midday
you,
naps.
I know. For those of you who don't know, this is like my son basically. He means the world to me, and I'm actually
Synergy's
opening.
mascot.
Synergy's mascot, yeah. So we do a lot with him, and it's a lot of fun. So actually, I'm not going to pull that up right now, Sarah. I'm going to come back to
Yeah.
this and show you later. But um, we have a really nice opportunity here to make a big double bowl vanity. And this distance going
Nice.
across right here is 9 foot 2. So when we look at the amount of front space that we have right here, it really makes it a lot more efficient than turning the corner with it.
Yeah, because you're thinking about flow from when you're walking into the space and using it and everything too, whereas before it just seemed to not flow as well.
Right. Super important, right? That's so critical is considering how the space is going to be used and maximizing the amount of storage we can put in a space like this.
Hmm. I'm sure it's something that people don't realize, or maybe they do now that they're spending more time in their home, but how sometimes, a dysfunctional space leads to so much um, lack of efficiency and just takes up time and adds to more frustration. So I think these little changes that you might not realize make a world of difference in reality.
Oh, they sure do. It's here. Let's take a peek at this here. See how it's coming together.
Oh,
I know,
very
right?
nice.
Yeah. And
So
again,
this is the new setup.
this is the new layout, but it's, we're gonna continue to put finishes in here and talk about the layout and how it's configured.
Well, it's looking great so far. Definitely much better than it was before.
Hmm. Yeah. And again, this is live. I'm just doing this as we go. This is not a pre-recorded. Um, but let's talk about that laundry area. This is a block that they want to incorporate into the space. Now, there are laundry units that, and I would not say that this is a primary unit right here, but if we look at the dimensions of a standard laundry unit, they're 28 wide, 42 tall, and 27. But there are some what I would call secondary units that are ventless that are the size of a dishwasher.
Hmm.
And they don't have this little lip on here. So what happens then is we can actually put this under a countertop.
Very convenient.
Yeah. And now the probably one of the key things to understand is that this is not the type of thing that we would recommend for a primary laundry. But if you're doing, a load of underwear, a load of socks, something of that nature, it could work really, really well. And with this right here, we would actually also be able to make this into a folding table. So if you're using your primary laundry downstairs and then coming up here to fold things,
I can also see where that pocket door is coming in handy now
right?
in that closet area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this could be the starting point for your laundry area. So this would be
Wow.
a secondary washer dryer combo unit, and then some additional storage here, and we could even do wall cabinets. And the thing, so here's where we start getting a lot of interesting requests right now. Um, I'm going to actually change this out here because when we're doing custom shower bases, this would probably be, now that I've been looking at it, and this stuff kind of happens when when we're designing, things evolve as we look at things. And I think I would probably want to make this a custom neo angle base. And a neo angle means that when it's got a little bit of a clip corner, and this is a block that I brought in, but I would make this a custom size, obviously. And this softens up this flow through to this area here.
Oh yeah. It almost invites you to take that turn.
Yeah, it does a little bit. And I kind of like that a little bit. Softens this corner, and this is still pretty big
Yeah.
compared to what it was before. This is uh 66 by 58, and then this used to be right here. See these little red lines, these little dash lines?
Yeah.
This
And
is
that used to just be the shower
that was
itself,
just the shower. So
much
just take
smaller.
yeah, like take a look at the size comparison. It's about
Wow.
double the size. And in here, what we would probably do is a little bit of a knee wall right here
Mhm.
and put a bench inside this shower.
Yeah, that's really, really, really nice compared to, that big tub that was probably, I think they discussed, just wasn't really used. It was just kind of sitting there. So,
Yeah. And this may or may not sound silly, but with something like this right here, I would probably put a TV on this wall.
oh, above the
Hmm.
washer and dryer area.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, if we're here, because when you're in the shower, you're getting ready in the morning, a lot of people do like to listen to the news, and it's actually a
Yeah.
pretty common request that we have now is to mount a TV in there.
Wow.
Yeah, so with this space right here,
Everything's kind of in one location. I don't think I would ever need to leave that much.
I mean, that's kind of the whole idea of a master suite, though,
Yeah.
really is
Yeah.
it's, people, that's their place, I mean, I'm the same way. I love it. And you could go take your shower, get ready in the morning, have a little bit of that peace and quiet before your day gets super hectic. Uh so if you're here, you're getting ready in the morning, pop on the news, jump in the shower, and because this is going to be a glass wall, you'll be able to watch TV while you're in the shower, watch the news, get your stuff done, and have a little bit of peace.
Wow.
You're getting ready, walk in here. Let me just pop open some mirrors here because there's a lot of really cool mirrors right now that are lighted, and I'm looking at this area right here as an opportunity to maybe make a little dressing area right here.
That would really top it all off because then you have, the ability to get ready, um, get your clothes, even do a quick load of clothes, toss it in.
Yep.
Um, Pretty much everything you would need in that space.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of vanity right here. Actually, because we have the space and it's great, you could sit down and actually, what's funny is a lot of bathrooms are the vanity, where there's a vanity in the main sink area. A lot of people want to get rid of those, but they don't want to lose it altogether. So in
Yeah,
this case right here, I'm going to actually show you what it would look like if we had that different. So we're going to go the height of this to be 6 inches, and it'll be a desk.
and so this could be like a sitting area for you to even, maybe, if someone's using makeup or that type of thing, could they sit down and use it in that fashion
That's yep,
too?
yep. That's exactly what it is. Let me see if I rendered this correctly here. Okay. So I'm going to do something because I do have some superhero powers right there. Tell you, wish you could do that
Wow.
in real life. Walk through walls,
Yeah.
walk through doors. I know, like sometimes, I spend so much time rendering and doing this computer work. Sometimes I worry that it's going to spill over to my real life and I'm going to like literally walk into a
Start
wall
walking
thinking,
into
oh
walls.
yeah, because
We're so used to
I know,
this virtual world
yeah,
that
yeah,
we're working in. It's just
yeah.
going to become the reality.
Yeah, just walk through walls and be like, "Whoa, that didn't work." My grandma did that when I was a kid. I just was so embarrassed. We were in a mall and she just walked into the glass. Yeah, so look at this here. Then we could do this mirror on this wall right here.
Yeah.
My grandma, I love my grandma. I miss her.
Oh,
I know. Yeah. What do you think of this?
I would absolutely love that. That
Yeah.
that right there is like just the cherry on top for me.
Oh,
I
here.
already thought that it was coming along really well, but that
I know
just,
it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. See
yeah.
this here? Instead of having this be that, I'm gonna make this a drawer. So you're gonna have a few different drawers here. So now, uh, so we're gonna make that a drawer. And we're going to make that 6 inches tall. And we're going to make this a drawer. So I know, Sarah, you've told me in the past that you really like doing your makeup and it's something that you actually really
Sure.
enjoy.
Yeah.
So when you're getting ready and you're putting on makeup, uh do you prefer a lot of shallow drawers or
Um, I would say yes, and then maybe one or two bigger drawers
okay,
to
okay.
be able to fit some, different size products. But shallower is easier to organize it, and so you're not
Hmm.
digging through like a very deep drawer in order to find what you need.
Hmm. Yeah, because we can do a couple of different things here. We can do a couple of shallow drawers and I'm going to just make this a little bit narrower. And now in this case right here, would you prefer a drawer on both sides of you?
Honestly, I like that. One, for the reason that it looks symmetrical. And then two, just why not have the extra storage if need be? And you have still that same countertop space as well, then.
Hmm. So sometimes we can design in a couple of different versions here, and a lot of times this will help people. So when I'm drawing in a 2D world, it's easier for me to draw. But when I'm showing people who are not used to looking at 2D, sometimes it's easier to look at it this way. So when I make this movement right here, so I'm going to be working on the very far left. See, I got three screens right here.
Hmm.
I'm actually going to be able to work in 2D, and as I'm working in this area, it populates in the other drawings as well. So they're synchronized together.
Some more inception going on.
I know, right? Okay, so you're digging this, huh?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. So there's actually some products out there right now that are. How are we doing on time, Sarah? I know that it's
I
your
was
job to
just
keep
about
us.
to say, I'm always the one that tries to push things along a little bit. So
Yep.
we are reaching about the uh, 30-minute mark pretty
Okay.
soon here.
Alrighty. So I know I'm on the clock right now, and I'm gonna wrap up pretty quick, but this is looking pretty good. Liking this,
Looks
we
really
made
good.
some real significant improvement to this space right here. We have some mirrors on this. We're showing this, and now it's just a matter of getting into some finishes. If we have just 2 more minutes, Sarah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you happen to have any before pictures handy. If not, that's fine because we can always revisit that next week when we're looking at this to start things off.
Sure. If you give me a second, I can zip over to the Odin cam, see how he's
Sure.
doing, and
Yeah.
maybe share with our viewers what we're going to be doing next week.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
let me just finish tuning this right here, and I'm gonna just scoot this over, and just like we did in the closet with the vanity drawer, we can do the same thing with uh, with all the finishes throughout the entire space. I'm just gonna, as you can see, I got about a million different folders that I work with,
And so
and
those are finishes or just
a little bit
in
of
general?
everything. So these are
Yeah.
things, all of these things that you see in this little window right here are things that I've catalogs I built over the many years. And one of the nice things is a lot of the manufacturers, and this software I use is called Chief Architect. It's a pretty high-end software for doing design work like this. But what's great is some of the manufacturers are starting to get on board with populating some of their catalogs. So like this particular catalog I just pulled up right here is Cambria. And for those of you that are not familiar with different types of products, and we're going to, as we go through Synergy Design Live, we plan on going to different manufacturers and different showrooms and taking tours of those kind of spaces as well. Uh, but as you can see down in the lower right hand corner, every time I'm clicking on one of these little uh, notes, there's something that pops up and I can change colors as we go.
Wow. That is so helpful to be able to see something like
Hmm.
as it is and not just a small sample.
Yeah, in upcoming episodes, we'll be talking a little bit more about finishes. Today's primarily, the goal for today was just to kind of look at floor plan because whenever we're designing a space, we first and foremost look at floor plan and then we start getting into finishes. So, in future episodes, I'm going to be pulling in some guest designers. I know that Megan Carr and Colleen Rivers is. Actually, I'm sorry.
Colleen Cohn, actually. Yes,
So I always
Colleen.
call her very maiden. Sorry, Colleen, if you're watching. I've known you for that long, so it's hard for me to break the maiden
The
name
habit.
habit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, let me just switch over to Odin Cam, and you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
talk
Let's
a
see
little bit
how
about
Odin's
what's
doing.
coming up.
Hi, Odin. How are you? So
Wait,
yeah.
oh, look at that
Oh,
one.
there's. We got some different angles, different
We
poses
do, we
going
do.
on.
Yeah,
Odin always hamming it up for the camera.
yeah, his, yeah, his.
He's definitely a good boy.
Uh huh.
But yeah, so it's like John said, this week we were kind of focusing on the clearly, the master suite area, and mainly just the layout changes, and that's typical with how we go through our regular design process. First focusing on those major layout changes, and then getting into the further details like the product selections, material selections, and how everything, all the finishes will look. So next week, I think that's what we'll be diving into is more of those, what often is the fun part in making some of those material selections and making everything look pretty.
And we're gonna be jumping down to the kitchen too, right?
Yes. So they originally, when we first, on our first episode, we went through, there was quite a bit of projects that this client was looking to do. So just as a recap, they had the kitchen area, which included the dining room, because they wanted to knock down a wall there, and then the outdoor back deck area, and then the master suite. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at the first floor area as well next week.
Yep. And we have a couple of people on deck, right? We've had several people call in and want to talk about their project. Who do we have on deck in 2 weeks? You said we have uh, Dennis Doremus.
Yes, Dennis Doremus is going to be coming up in 2 weeks, and he is inquiring about a basement project. So we'll go ahead and take a look at a new part of, the home. We've been looking at the main floor and the second floor of a home, and so this client's just looking for a basement project. So in 2 weeks, we'll go ahead and visit him, and then after that, we do have another client who was looking to do a kitchen and addition
Hmm.
project.
Perfect.
So. Yeah.
And then I know I have a couple of notes and a couple of field measures for the Doremus project. And a couple of the notes on there that I read is that he's a gamer, and that kind of falls right into my category of fun. So that'll be a pretty cool project because I get to be a little bit more creative with designing some gaming elements. But you wanted to see a before picture,
Yes. So, okay. Now
and
that door that we're looking
oh,
at
let me go back to
in
that.
that before, that is the door to the bedroom?
That is. So this is open right now. So it looks like it's going into a room next to it, but this is actually the door swung open where it was previously. This door used to be right here and swinging into the wall. So
Okay.
in that view, we are standing right here looking this way.
Mhm.
So we're right next to that previous shower, which is super tiny, looking that way. And then there's this little L-shaped vanity that I was saying that
Yeah.
that we got rid of all of this, made it straight across, and a lot more functional.
Wow. Yeah, what a difference, truly. Yeah.
So everybody, thank you. We're right at our limit of where I promised you be. We're going to try to keep these at 30 minutes. Uh, and it was really a lot of fun this week, and hope to
Yeah.
see you every week at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, and so also if you want to inquire, we do have, as we mentioned, a couple of projects, but if you'd like to be selected for a live design, you can submit your pictures, videos, or drawings of your space right here on Facebook, or you can email them to us at contact@synergyremodel.com, and we'll be in touch with you.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks, John. Bye, everyone. Have a good
Bye.
week.
Bye. We'll see you later.
Thanks.